Hello and welcome to the Adventures. Okay, Jeff. No, bad Jeff. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. I wasn't even going to flub it this time. I wasn't. Welcome to Perils and Princesses, Just Dessert. Look away. Our version of the Sweet Revenge campaign. I am Infinite Jeff. There you go.
Infinite Jeff.
Yeah, I'm We've Infinite Jeff today. Yep, I've leveled up.
I read that book.
That's good.
So unfortunately, Aaron isn't able to join us. Real life got in the way once more. But we do have everybody else today. So let's talk about what our promising princesses have done so far. We were introduced to Roxy's home life and her sort of call to adventure last week. We also now know how much, or maybe too much, the mayor, Theo, needs laxatives for his bowel movements.
I did give him the keys to the shop. That's going to come back to bite me in the ass.
Maybe literally. Roxy managed to navigate the woods, drinking her own shrinking potion, passing out, waking up, entering the mist, and then finding the Rat King's nest and the princess party to join. Then, once they were all together, they worked together to take out all 7 of the rats that were tied together by their tails. Adelaide decided to fight with a hatchet and frying pan, better for defense than attack so far. Lagolla went with the bow, found XCOM rules, unfortunately. Roxy went with her sword, and that went well. We're working on learning it. And Letty first dropped a stalactite on the rat group and then decided to dual wield rat heads for the rest of the fight. This led to our new favorite Jeff quote, welcome to the shit, or as Jeff would like to say it,
welcome to the shit.
You gotta get really into it.
You do. It wasn't great. I can't mimic that. The princesses then packed up all 7 heads and the tail of the Rat Kings up and headed out of the lair. The Pixie Queen met them in her throne room. They took the heads to plan her new decorations. And the princesses then received a butterfly clip, which I believe Lagolla has now taken. This will allow her to grow wings and fly when she puts it in. They were then given a guest apartment in the castle, and the princesses rested and leveled up for the first time. So we actually got to see what that looked like. We also got Roxy drinking her tea and using her premonition ability to ask the question, is Celine still alive? In which she has a confirmed yes. Now, her sister's alive. The rest of her family's cupcakes. How long until they catch her?
Hey, they're still technically alive. Well, actually, wait a minute. That's a horrifying. Are they like people in there? Oh,
maybe. You guys, this is the first time anyone has asked that question.
No.
There is probably an answer. But you do know the people are food, as is everything else becoming such. We'll come back to them. So we will turn back into our princesses, kind of just waking up on day 3. There are 4 days left before the confectionery curse overwhelms the kingdoms of this world. The air feels even denser this morning, and looking around, you see more items have changed to candy. Maybe you had a bowl of fruit, and now they're all candied appled or carameled or any other ice melted into ice cream of some kind. And we do need to do some fun new rolls. So I need somebody to roll me a D8 and let me know what the number is. And we're going to see how the townsfolk survive in this new morning.
Who wants to step on that landmine?
Anybody?
Melissa's got it. Look at her face. She's ready to go.
I was excited to roll, and then I learned what it was for, and now I don't know that I want the responsibility.
Who feels like they've got some good luck this morning?
Is high or low good? Because you're talking about the villagers in Deerhollow, right? And you know how Letty feels about them.
Okay. So if you roll a 1 or a 2, bad things are going to happen, and we are actually going to reduce the die. If you roll above 3 or above, town folks.
8.
The town folks are still all there, so there are no
Literally worse outcome.
Yeah, well, Roxy's friends continue to survive.
Speed of the world. Why are we doing capitalism? What the hell is wrong with you?
It's a barter system. All right, so you guys wake up in the morning, kind of seeing the progression of the curse around you, but you're used to kind of waking up and you get the little bluebirds singing along in the morning as you clean or cook, and the little mice and rats that aren't gross and trying to eat you, trying to help out and turning into horses and carriages. It's getting quieter and there's just nothing living. Is there any morning routines the party would like to do?
I think Letty would take time to pull out Gallicrow. And
well, hey, you there yet, buddy? You wanna come help us today? I think we're gonna go get big or something. What's that? You want more? You want more cheese curds? Well, I'm fresh out of cheese curds, but I do. I could probably find some more honey or something around here. So, what's that? Oh, it's got to be viscous and sticky. Okay, sure, no problem.
There is some fruit that is turned into ice cream and melted into a pile.
You like ice cream? You like ice cream? Okay. Well, you don't know yet because you're only 7 days old. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's figure it out.
And so Letty will start feeding Gallicrow some ice cream.
All right. Gallicrow does not move, but you managed to coat him.
We're gonna have to do
okay, good.
Like a birthday thing for Gallicrow or something when he hits 2 weeks old, because I think he's up to 9 days since we just woke up on a new day.
So the problem,
going to live for 2 weeks, but I like your optimism.
Yeah, his 2-week birthday is on day 7 of the curse because he started at 7 days old.
Oh,
well, it'll be a nice way to go out.
Math. All right. So as you kind of just relax, maybe trying to pick out some things from the kitchen that hasn't been candied, you hear sort of a rap at the door.
Oh, it seems like someone's here. Should we? Okay, I'll go get that. And Roxy will just kind of shuffle off as she watches this insane person pour ice cream into a backpack. Keep in mind, I haven't had the context for you doing this, so I just have been watching you pour various foodstuffs into a backpack.
No, I took them out. So you see a big stick thing with a face and everything, and I'm just talking to them, and I'm feeding them it, and I'm just smothering them.
Wait, how does
I don't understand why this is weird.
You don't... I'm going to answer the door.
As you grab the doorknob and turn it and open the door, you see on the other side Chestnut, his friend Glowy on his shoulder, and it takes you a moment and you realize his skin has started to turn sort of brown and curling up, and you think he's starting to turn into roasted chestnuts, quite literally, as a winter treat. So, the curse is here. The queen, she said she couldn't keep it back anymore.
Yeah, that does feel about how all this has been going. I didn't know roasted chestnuts were counted as a candy. That's, Anyway,
Sweet.
I guess. Yeah. Are you okay?
No. What happens? Glowy's so small, and when he turns, it's just gonna go.
Well, hopefully we can.
Are
we're
they
one third
alive
away.
when they turn?
I desperately don't want to think about that.
We hope so. We'll find out when we finish our everything that we have to do. But like Isabelle said, stay hopeful.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, the queen says that you're welcome to stay here, but yeah, that to warn you that the curse is definitely moving forwards.
Well, I'll be honest, Adelaide. I don't know if I want these people to be alive because that means that my parents are currently sitting in the cabinet of an incontinent old man, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, we want them to be able to turn back when we solve this curse. So we're going to solve the curse, and then all of the people that you care about will be people again.
Well, yeah, of course. I just meant more. I guess I'm hoping it's sort of like a turn to stone sort of situation where they're all, maybe not aware of what's going on and not subject to the horrors of.
They're in like a candy coma, so they're not aware.
Yeah. Hopefully.
We can think that. There's no reason why we have to think that they're like. And then she sort of thinks about what you were talking about, and like she gets this sort of look of horror on her face as she realizes what you were thinking is happening with them, and she shakes her head. No, that candy coma. It's decided.
I'm gonna choose to live in ignorance. Well, you guys said there was some kind of. We didn't really have much time to sit down and actually talk about it all, but you said there was some kind of prophecy, right? The one they were talking about in town?
Prophecy? Is this like a big person thing? So yes, Roxy would know this, and I'm happy to remind the party. Let me just pop this up. So the quest or goal of Sweet Revenge that Roxy is referencing was her sister sacrificed herself via the malefic mirror to give you, for this curse breaking to succeed, 3 different items you will need. The tail of the king of the Pixies land, which you now have, a ring of gold from the Earl King's hand, the final thing, not least but last, a treasure from the caster's past. Together dropped into the well, these items 3 will break the spell. But time is short, so move your feet, or you will find revenge is sweet. So you do now have the tail. You're fairly confident, though it is quite large in your smallish form. You are also aware that you have probably another 8 hours of small form. You're going to turn back around noon, and we'll say it's maybe early morning right now.
Well, I don't know what an Earl King is. Does that mean anything to any of you?
It's the fight. We're gonna go to a ball with a dude named Trash Can. We're gonna call on him. He's gonna come help us. Everything's gonna be fine. Here, eat your ice cream.
Do you know this Trash Can personally?
Yes, it's important to say trash instead of not the TR. Basically, we saved this person from certain, doom or whatever. And they said if we say their real name 3 times in a row, they'll show up and they got to do whatever we say, period. End of story. That's how I'll remember it. But I'm insane. So what we can basically do is we can head over to the fight and they got balls and stuff. Not like sports balls. I mean, like dances or something, and we're going to go there and we're going to punch it.
We got to be fancy though, right? Right? We have to be fancy when we go?
Need to fit the celestial theme. And also, I will say, Roxy, on the wind, you hear, my name is Ashcan. Please.
No.
Please.
Please. We don't. But Letty's right. We don't want to say the name. So we always say trash can so that we don't accidentally do the thing before we're ready to do the thing. So it's trash can. It's very smart.
Okay. To be fair, that is true.
That makes a certain amount of logical sense. Okay. Wasn't there some tower too?
Yes. And you also now
That's
have
the final thing, the treasure.
A password into the tower if you wanted to try and navigate that as well. Because you do need something from there.
Marvelous marzipan.
Yeah. So, what are we thinking? We got 8 hours left. Being small. Do we really want to go outside, though? The Pixie Land while we're tiny? Look, how'd it go for you when you were all tiny out there?
I fell out of a tree and almost died.
Oh, okay. So,
Wait, was that you with the squirrel?
Yes.
Oh, oh, oh. Are you okay?
Well,
Are your bones
the double vision's finally stopped, so yes.
Oh boy. Okay, well if you need like concussion treatments, I guess I can try and find something. Oh boy. All
Now,
right.
you guys could spend the morning doing stuff and preparing, well, small. You do know for travel's sake, it will take probably twice as long to travel, well, tiny. But there are areas to go to that you can definitely check out. And the Everlost Lake, the time is ticking, and the Everlost Lake will be a day from Deerhollow to get to, or half a day from Deerhollow to get to as well.
That's a good question. Like just by like traveling logistics alone, how much time would we be losing? Because if it takes a day to get there, a day or however long it takes to then get to where we assume this stuff is for the tower, I mean, we're losing at a minimum like what, 2 to 3 days just on travel alone?
So the question is, well, you're small, is there a way to speed it up? Are you going to instead choose to try to do some preparation in some way, or
There's
you
two
like-
things I would like to ask. One is the queen available to talk for Lagolla to talk to?
Currently, the queen likes you. Try not to change that. Yes.
Okay. So Lagolla is going to say to the group, so if we need to dress for a celestial ball, I imagine there might be some items that we could procure here that would allow us to fit the attire so that Trash can wheel his way down here, pick us up, and give us a lift to Everlost Lake.
that raises an interesting question of theoretical physics and spatial dynamics and such. If we get something here that's tiny, and then we put it on in our packs, does that too grow back to size with us when the potion's effects wore off?
Well,
I think so.
if it didn't, it sure would make that butterfly clip kind of a bummer of a reward because I don't think little wings would do very much.
Speaking of wings, I could always try and find a non-candied bird that could fly us to Everlost Lake, since we're small enough that it would easily get us there in enough time, because we all know birds can travel a minimum of 6 hex tiles without issue.
If only we were
what are you
playing by
talking
the travel rules that the game set out.
Something about the velocity of a swallow. Anyway,
I think that actually makes kind of a lot of sense there. We if we can maybe get a bird, or maybe some of the pixies are willing to help us because they've got, all sorts of fancy tricks and wings and such. Maybe we can find ourselves a quick, expedient path backwards.
I can try and talk with the queen about this. I do have some courtly etiquette, so I think that might give me a leg up in this conversation.
What does
You
your
should
legs
do
got
that.
to do with it?
What?
I said,
I
what do
think
your
they
legs
mean,
got to
like-
do with it?
I think they mean they have an advantage. Oh, you were being facetious. Okay.
Lagolla, so you turn to look at the couch where Chestnut has been quietly having a sort of existential crisis / panic attack just by himself while he waits for you guys to talk.
I'd offer him some of my tea, but I think he's a little young for it.
Oh, I've got some leftovers of regular. What do you mean young for here? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. Every time I ask questions, I get a horrifying answer.
What if they're still thinking though? What if they've been? Because I know the people in Deerhollow have been turning into candy for like a year, and some of them turned early.
Well, no, please.
You see, An interesting thing to think about is, do you ever choose the thoughts that come into your mind, or do they just kind of appear sometimes?
Yes.
They just kind of appear, right? So
Both.
if these candied people, if these candied people aren't able to choose thoughts, they're probably having a bunch of random nice thoughts and aren't bothered by trivial things around them.
Okay. But then does that mean like the trees that are turning to chocolate can think?
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, they can talk to rocks, and rocks don't really move all that much, and they seem pretty happy, so I'm sure it's not that bad, even if they are.
Okay, hang on. Wait 1 second. Trees talk to rocks?
No, you
what are you,
talk to
crazy?
rocks. Talk to rocks.
No, I don't think so. No.
You mean they're not multicultural? They border themselves off?
We're not talking about a language barrier. We're talking like square pegs, round holes kind of situation here. Like it's a completely different thing. Like, rocks and trees and.
But you're a completely different thing, and you talk to them.
What are you talking about? I'm half rock. Do you not look at me? I'm half rock, half taffy. It's rough there. It's very clear.
Well, you said you talked to the stalactites when we were fighting that big rat thing, and I mean. Well, actually, no, you were flipping one of them off for a pretty long while.
They deserved it. They were they were a real trash can, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay.
Would it make you feel any better? I can, and I want to see if I can just, since I'm all like fresh up on like just sort of a free berry, just to sort of flavor help. Him, calm down.
I think some of her moles she calls Ativan. You might like that.
Just a little something to help you. It's you just sort of you put it in your mouth and you just sort of like focus on like what it tastes like and what it feels like, and it just kind of helps you like ground yourself and maybe stop with some of the like thoughts that Lagolla was talking about.
Thank you. It's
you're welcome.
You have to say a magic word, benzodiazepine, while you eat it.
She's really going to cause like a whole mess load of drug problems. I mean, he's clearly just a little bit upset. She's like,
it's gone through
drugs.
It's gone through clinical trials. I'm sure Adelaide's good for it.
Does this count as trafficking?
I'm just saying, it feels like, this is a big leap to just suddenly jump to, giving drugs to solve the problem. Maybe work it through.
No, you're right. It's a peanut at this point more than it is a berry, because of the curse. But you just put it in your mouth and you just like think about like what it feels like and what the sensation is and what the temperature feels like, and you just sort of focus on that. And then you don't worry so much about all the thoughts that are in your brain.
Letty, I think she has the placebo, so it's not even a real benzo.
What? Those aren't even words. I don't know what you're talking about now. Placebo, benzodiazepine. Come on now. What are we talking about?
So everybody
I
can
have
give
no
me...
idea what you two are talking about.
You're a drug pusher, is what you are. That's what you're drug pushing. On this young fellow over here with his little, his little
I give little parts of myself. Sometimes it's berries. Right now it's peanuts, but usually berries. Sometimes it's tears. It's just whatever anyone needs. I give.
You give people your
Thank
tears.
You. So everybody, can you just give me a grace roll while we're doing this?
Oh boy.
Hey, 10 under 11.
Nice.
I got a 2.
Nice.
I failed. I got an 11 on above 10.
Okay.
I rolled the exact same thing, 11 over 10.
All right. So, unfortunately, the people Chestnut did see this. So Lagolla and Adelaide, you can kind of see him like shifty-eyed and looking around between the princess party, and then he clearly, to you at least, fake eats this. He does that thing where he's just like, oh yes, I'm eating this food. And you can tell. Letty and Roxy, as far as you're aware, he's definitely had this healing pill. Okay, great.
If you don't want it, I'll take it.
You didn't take it.
Oh.
Wait, they didn't? Wait,
No,
Letty, you
it was
saw
clear. It was clear as
Just
day.
faked.
What?
I look like
Just
look like he
faked it.
ate it to me. I don't know.
That's
Why do you
that's a
stop
It's
berating
either
me?
in the
waste.
collar of his shirt or it's in his pocket.
So you want to go
Wow.
see the queen, and he's clearly just trying to hold it together to get away from you guys.
Oh, yeah.
you
A
want
bird,
to
right?
go see the queen? To talk to
Yeah,
her. Okay, I
that'd
can
be
take
great.
you
Well,
there.
Once you feel
I
more
think
calm, yes.
Goya wanted to. I don't know that I do anymore.
You guys are welcome to come along.
Well, I mean, I'd love to get to see. I've never seen a queen in person outside of, I guess, yesterday, technically, but
All right. It's okay. Okay. And because Adelaide looks sad, Chestnut will consume the peanut berry. Yum.
Well, it's not just about the eating of it. It's about being mindful and like holding it in your mouth and thinking about it and not thinking about all the other things that you were worried about.
I'm definitely mostly thinking about this now. That is true.
Oh,
then it worked.
All right. Let's go.
So Chestnut, like cuddling up to Glowy, kind of hustles you guys down towards the throne room. Okay, Queen Gardania, and he kind of like waves his hand, and the queen is currently seated on her throne. She currently has a few pixies kind of around below, and they seem to be sort of half turned into candy themselves. One of them looking a bit like a cookie with a bunch of chocolate chips kind of pulsing out of their skin. And the other one looks like maybe they were made into glass and have sloshing hot chocolate inside them as they seem to be steaming a little bit. And the queen is wrapped and talking to them intensely, and they seem to be trying to make like a plan or discuss something for the village as you come in.
Does the queen look to be afflicted by the curse?
The queen does still look like she is herself still. So no curse yet for her.
Okay. So since I have a talent in courtly etiquette, and thinking about the request I want to make, I would assume that it would be at least polite to wait until she's done with her conversation. Unless it's going to take another hour, then I'm not going to be polite.
Sure, yeah, no worries. With your courtly etiquette, you kind of stand at exactly the right position where you're kind of in her peripheral vision without being sort of in the way or kind of sort of leaning into or over their shoulders. Like you can kind of hear what they're talking about, but at that polite distance, she acknowledges you and she kind of wraps up quickly with these ones. They seem to have written lists down, and as they hustle by, the princesses hear them. Okay, we gotta figure out who's turning. We gotta get some protective cases. And they're kind of like talking about what they need to do. And the queen is free. Hello, dear darlings. Did you sleep well?
Most well, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. I actually had something that I'd like to discuss with you. Seeing how quickly the curse has progressed and seeing that it's now affecting your land as well, I was hoping to ask a favor of you for the 5 of us, well, 4 right now, so that we might get the next item we need to break the curse. It's of the utmost importance.
Oh, well, yes. It seems like I'm no longer able to protect my pixies. What item are you looking to get, and what is the favor that you're asking?
So Lagolla will just explain that they need to be dressed for a celestial ball being held with the Fae, and that even if we were our normal size, we would lose a lot of time, and she's going to stress the importance of we don't know how much time we have if this much has changed in a single day. So she's going to essentially lay out, if you have any clothing that would get us admission to a Fae ball and a way to get us there, she will break the curse, or that's what we're planning to do. And we can also try and come back and return items or do other favors.
I'm afraid I don't have a good way of getting you there myself. Most of my fairies just fly, but you're too heavy for us to carry that distance. However, boys, girls, come here, and you'll see a swarm of sort of cusp of adulthood pixies start coming out of the sides. They're dressed in like little tiny servants outfits, but they're clearly just like practicing for their first jobs kind of thing. Yeah, we're here. Yes, ma'am. My liege. What can we do for you? Yes. Thank you. Good job, children. Sorry, everyone. If you wouldn't mind, I believe we need the 3 tailors from town to come in. I know they're usually a little bit competitive, but I believe we need to design and sew some outfits. In how much time do you have at this moment?
It feels like a couple of hours before we're back to our normal size. And I have a contingency plan in place where we might try and find a bird to fly us over to the area we need to get to. It's a couple of days away. So if it's not too much to ask, I'd like it as quickly as possible.
Well, we'll do our best. Children, post haste, collect all the tailors in town. And seamstresses. You see the sort of swarm of children like leaves the vicinity, and then probably in 10 or 15 minutes they swarm back, and it's almost like they're carrying like as if they were at a concert. There are 3 sort of adult pixies that are being swarmed into the throne room, might be the best way of describing it. And they appear to be sort of elegantly dressed. They have the tiny little monocles, maybe one with one of the little magnifying things on their glasses. They're holding sewing kits and sort of rolls of fabric and looking very confused. Just let's say there's one man and there's a woman and there's one sort of that's ambiguous and you're not quite sure, and the children kind of like create spaces and circles around them. We did it, my queen, my empress. Okay. And the children kind of then just swarm back into the walls and disappear again, and you've got these 3 people in front of you. Welcome. So these fine folks here are from a distant land, but they plan on going to the Fae Ball, the Everlost Lake Ball, I believe. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I believe they have some ideas for the outfits, and we are on a time crunch. So I'm going to need you to do this as quickly as possible. And sort of the 3 will sort of swivel and look at all of you guys, and they'll start just pulling out of what appears to be thin air more and more rolls of fabric, and you have an array of things. Now, you know the theme is celestial. Do any of you guys have an idea of what kind of dress or outfit or suit you would be asking these tailors and seamstresses to make?
Letty, you look like you have an idea.
I do.
Melissa
I
would
do.
like more time, please.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I want
Uh-huh.
I want like grey, like
Gray.
wrapping around dark grey if you got it.
Dark grey,
Not
yeah.
quite black. Let's not go crazy, right? 'Cause that
Metallic
shows that-
or matted?
That's a great question. But do you have rhinestones?
Oh, I'm sure we can find rhinestones. Yes, gray
Okay,
rhinestones.
if that's the case, then matted. Okay, matted
Mhm.
fabric, because I want the shining to be the rhinestones, which are,
Fairness.
wait for it, metaphorically speaking, the stars. You see?
Oh, I like great. That's a great idea. Mhm.
I want to have like this beautiful wrap of grey, this
Mhm.
wonderful fabric, but then I want to array it with all manner of rhinestones to try to mimic some of the constellations and such
Sure,
that we
blues,
see up in the
silvers,
sky.
Yellows, purples. Mhm.
Yellows and purples. Yeah. We can go nuts with the rhinestones. I just figured, a matte, dark, grey, back there. If we could go, if you want to go a touch to like the blue gray, that's okay
Blue-gray,
because it
yeah.
represents the cosmos. You know, cosmos is a word I learned recently. Anyhow, so like, but like in various sizes of rhinestones, if you got those as well.
Yep.
And I would like a
moon?
trail. What's that?
Are we looking for the moon as well?
Well, sure. I mean, the moon's, it's okay. It's not really my
I would
thing.
like the moon on mine, if that's okay.
It's not really my thing. I'm more about the
no moon,
stars.
no moon. It's only stars. Okay.
And
trail.
Like a train, like it's a comet tail,
Oh, that's yellow or white?
Why not both exactly?
Oh, okay.
Don't understand. There's like a false dichotomy there. You assume the choices.
As all of this is going on, I think Roxy just leans over to Lady Lagolla. I was just gonna ask for like a nice rope or something. Are we supposed to like all of that?
Oh, we have to be the talk of the ball. So go all out.
Oh God.
So you see this person starting to like pull out a measuring tool and just starting to take everything off of Letty and trying to get the exact dimensions of her. Gets stuck a little bit here and there.
You want to stand like this? You want to put
no, just T shape.
T, like lowercase t or capital T? I don't think I can do a capital T.
Lowercase, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And so Letty starts to get measured, and suddenly a tiny little box appears for her to stand up in, so that they can start trying to figure out how long these matted gray ropes need to be. And another one comes up to you, Lagolla. Yes. Okay. Yes.
So I have a friend who has let me look through their magical telescope, and there are these things out in the celestial space called black holes. And so I know it's an atypical color, but I'd like my dress to be just pure black and almost in a way look like it's bending light around it. Now, the important thing is that I'd like to have some kind of like shit. I don't actually know the word for something. What's that thing you wear on like your shoulders? It's usually like a
shawl.
Shawl. Thank you. I'd like to have a shawl, but also have it come up into like a collar / like back piece, and I wanted to have a bright white glow to show that it's bending light around me, and that's pretty much it. Some accessories would be nice, just either pure white or pure black to accentuate.
All monochrome. Got it. Okay. Yeah. And then this person will start with the measurements and the wads of fabric, and they manage to pull just Venta black out of somewhere and start pulling it in. Roxy or Adelaide, either of you guys have some ideas? Oh, all right. Adelaide, the third woman, will quickly come up to you.
Yes. So, the dress, whatever color whatever you've got it, that's fine. Just something pretty, whatever will work. But what I'm thinking is
whatever.
A bit of sort of like a veil, but not forward, but like back, and that is sort of where the decoration would be, and it would be like a moon that's like reflecting off of a waterfall. And that's kind of what it's kind of like will come down, moon. Sort of like Letty was talking about with like a train, but it's sort of more of like kind of a headpiece kind of a thing. And the dress can be whatever, just as long as it looks nice for a ball.
And they're like tutting at you for keeping every time you say whatever, they're like.
But so a moon like reflecting off of a waterfall, so maybe some blue colors, so it all goes together, and maybe some blue, and maybe the dress could be like, it could be like a lavender, but if you don't have a lavender, it's okay. But maybe that would be nice.
And they'll pull out like this most elegant ladder. Matted, or do you prefer metallic?
Maybe metallic for the piece with the moon, and then the dress itself would just be matte. Maybe I don't want to like stand out too much. I don't need to be too shiny. I don't think.
And she'll your seamstress will look at the two tailors that are working on Lagolla and Letty. No, this is going to be the best out of the three of us. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, everyone
And
should
the
should
other
shine
two
in their own
tailors, their
way,
heads
though.
snap to look, and their eyes narrow. And Adelaide, yours kind of just stops listening to you and starts designing this very beautiful sort of flowing dress that's going to come all the way down to your sort of ankles, nearly touching the ground, with a little bit of extra fabric so that as you move, it ripples kind of like water, and then design the headpiece a little bit similar to what you're thinking. And she'll mix in purples and blues just to try to bring it together. Yes.
And
Sorry,
the whole time she's doing that, she's, oh, that's real nice. Oh, thank you. That's so, I wouldn't have thought of that. Oh, that's so pretty.
And Roxy, three sort of slightly younger tailors and seamstresses come up to you, and you realize these are all like the proteges of each of these three tailors, and they all hold their own little notepads and give each other side eye as they wait for you to talk.
Oh gosh, oh boy, it seems like they had a lot of demands. And I think she just kind of like realizes, especially in the company that she's keeping, like she looks very out of place. You know, she's got on like this dingy old armor and this like really ratty kind of gray cloak and this like floppy, you know, like dusty witch hat and stuff like that. And it's all very like clearly worn and worked in. Um, I'm not like a clothing expert. I've never really. The fanciest thing I ever wore was like a nice dress once to my parents' cousin's wedding, and well, that didn't go so well. But and she'll like take out that moon pendant that she has worn all of this time. They said something about it being celestial, and I'm sure you all know a lot more about this sort of stuff than I do, so maybe you could do something with this. And she'll hold it kind of out to them as like inspiration, I guess. Oh, and well, this used to belong to my sister, so maybe if we could make it look nicer. It's kind of rough right now, and you know, she like takes off this like breastplate that she had been wearing that just clearly doesn't quite fit her.
You're gonna have to take that to an armory, I'm afraid. But are we looking? And sort of, they're all talking over. No. Are we looking? A suit, dress, or other?
Oh gosh. Something practical, I guess. I've never really been the like flowy dress type. Just something that's good to move around in. Like, I can't imagine this goes in any way where we don't have to start running around and stuff. So if I guess if you could accommodate for that. I'm going to be honest, I feel really out of my depth here. I appreciate the work you all are doing.
So the three students kind of start to tune you out the same way that Adelaide was kind of tuned out a little bit. And they start arguing amongst themselves, and they start pulling sort of this pure white fabric out. And then they'll pull some sort of gloss silk-like white pearl fabric as well. So you've got the matted as well as the pearl. And they sort of try to create this suit with the effect of almost living moonlight on you around your moon pendant. And then they'll replace whatever you have the pendant currently on with sort of a braided pearl fabric thong that goes around your neck again, as they kind of like fix it all up so that you're white, and they'll give you like proper shoes and everything to match it.
Oh gosh. Could I borrow a little bit of that fabric, actually, if you don't mind?
Which one? The matted white or the pearl?
That one, and she'll just point to one of them, not knowing what which is which.
They'll like pick up some dregs from the ground and kind of just give those to you.
And she will try her best to like use it to patch up her hat as best she can.
Fair enough. So you got some little white patches on your witch's hat right now. So you guys, this probably does take a little bit longer. The tailors and seamstresses and students work as quickly as they can, quite clearly. They do really kind of start competing and doing it very quickly. But it's still probably 2 to 3 hours of your time to do this. However, once they are done, you feel very dressed for a ball as you kind of turn around to look at each other and what sort of outfits everybody has ended up with.
Oh, wow. I'm almost afraid to move around in this. I'm worried I'm gonna...
Oh,
It's
trust
really
me, you'll
nice.
want to. You're going to need to break it in so that you don't end up with any rashes or any calluses or anything.
Oh, do I have to worry about that?
The students look affronted. No!
Okay. But wow, you all look fantastic. Is this the kind of thing that like royalty gets up to on the reg? This is... Oh,
Oh,
boy.
no, me. No, I live out in the forest. This is the first time I've had something this nice on. I've always dreamed of it. Though.
And
I'll live
Adelaide
on a
had been
mountain.
wearing. Yeah, Adelaide was wearing peasant's clothes, so she wasn't particularly.
Pilgrim.
Oh,
Yeah, most of the princesses were wearing peasant clothes before now.
Yes,
You
you do.
now
This
are
was a
very
rags
much
to
in
riches scene.
nobles attire, very much so.
So I think one of my pages in my diary got torn out. Letty or Adelaide, if we call
Yo.
Trash Can now, could he teleport us, or is he just there to like help us with something else that's potentially helpful? I just
Well,
know
they
we
never-
only got one favor from him.
He never said that he couldn't transport us there. But, hey, do you trust him to?
Well, I feel like we kept our end of the bargain. We look amazing.
What I mean is, if we call him here now and we ask him to do it, and he says either no or he can't do it, well, then we've used up our favor, and there's nothing we can use it for.
That's a good point.
But wouldn't-
And
Wouldn't
he
that
doesn't have
then-
shrinking potion to be here, so I don't think we could call him when we're here, because he need to drink. We'd have to get out of here first.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, I was just trying to make a second contingency in case I can't find any birds.
if they didn't, wouldn't that then be reneging on the deal that they made with you? I don't know
how Fey deals work. I'm just
I
betting
think
that.
he promised tickets for all of us. I don't know if he
Yeah.
promised tickets and a ride.
He promised
My-
tickets and to help with knowledge checks.
Right. So, just like saying, hey, I hope he can teleport us there. I mean,
Do you have the
That's a
knowledge
big
to
ass.
teleport us there?
okay, well, then he could say yes and then not
Oh.
actually teleport us. And
You are
still
the
make his-
witz one. I get it.
I
Yeah,
am.
I see that now.
I'm quite wisdomy.
On the other hand, though, I mean, if he promised you tickets, I mean, that does imply that you're gonna get there. So if there's no other way to
No.
get there but that,
Well, you
Roxy,
get tickets
the
to
thing
a place.
that you were
You don't
missing.
get like a ride there too. You know.
hey, wait a
You
minute,
just
I
get the
definitely
tickets.
wasn't part of this deal. How am I gonna get in?
They they
You
actually
and
have
Gallicrow
received
look
the
quite
ticket.
similar.
What? Really? But he's a scarecrow in a bag.
But he recently got puff. Well, that might come out wrong. He recently got fleshier looking bits.
I guess that's true.
That's just
Am I
the
supposed
ice
to be?
cream.
I'm not
He
a.
got marshmallowy.
Oh boy. Well,
That's why I went for the word puffy, but then I realized that'd be really rude of me to say.
I mean, I can just like
Mhm.
pretend to
Mhm.
be one of your servants or something. Nobles have like retinue, right? That's a thing that they do, isn't it? I've only
Yeah,
read
got
about
two
this
of them
in
in
books.
both eyes.
Oh dear.
It seems like we should probably walk our way out of here so that when we get big, we're outside. And then I like the idea of finding the birds to fly us closer. And then we
Yes,
get
I'm
the
gonna
tickets.
try different bird calls. I just have to look from my page of different birds I've sketched in the past in my
Hi,
diary.
We probably shouldn't wear these clothes though. We should probably pack them up and put them in our pack.
Well, if they
Probably, 'cause
grow
if
with
we-
us, they're probably magically resistant to dirt.
well, you're
Oh.
just making amazing leaps of logic in the past 45 seconds. or
I
so.
just watched clothing fly out of a box. I feel like it's fair.
Excuse me, Mister and Mrs. and all the tailor people. Are these clothes magically resistant to dirt?
So, within reason.
Okay, so maybe don't go like fighting in them or something.
I mean, we can't seem to walk like half a day without getting into a fight with something. So I'm a little tempted to maybe keep it safe and go back to the other things for while we're walking around. And I just hope I can get it back on the way they did. But yes, travel clothes. Travel clothes and ball clothes are two separate bits of clothes.
That seems prescient. Yeah.
Thank you, though.
Alright.
This is really, really very. And Adelaide is doing the thing because she put all the decoration behind her, so she can't actually really see it. So she's constantly like looking for like a mirror to where she can like get the full effect, like
I'll
behind.
say, Queen Gardania's throne room, probably as you look around for a mirror, sort of this elegant tree interior, wooden interior with sort of the stars itself built as well. In a tiny planetarium above you, does likely have sort of mirrored walls along the sides, and maybe there is a little bit of a reflection on the tiled floor as well that you can see.
And Adelaide just keeps like finding mirror and then looking and then like walk running to see like the effect behind. Like, it looks so pretty. It looks very, very nice. I'm sad to have to take it off. And then she like turns in the other direction and looks back and kind of like walks again. It looks very, very lovely. Very, very lovely indeed. And I want to make sure that I take really good care of this now, right? And then she looks to everybody else to make sure that everyone else is changing too.
Will you guys
yes.
change out of the dresses? Okay, yes, very good. Yeah, so as you kind of as you remove the dresses, the seamstresses and tailors will kind of pull out these little cloth bags that help you fold everything back into it and have it exactly folded in a way that, you know, if you ever take this back out again, you're never getting it back in without a lot of skills
Absolutely.
and training.
This is that little bag that like those mattress covers come in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have it packed away perfectly right now. If you ever take it out again, it's going to
It's
be
out.
out. Yeah. But it's travel ready now.
Well, I guess let's go find some birds. Should I thank the queen? Should I like bow to her?
Oh yes, Lagolla will show everybody how to do a proper like show of respect and gratitude to the queen and to her, fate or her staff members.
Just for
Brand new.
funsies, Lagolla, roll me a grace with advantage.
So,
Letty, did you get one for Gallicrow too? Does Gallicrow have a suit?
Got a 3 and a 6.
Good question.
With
Okay. Could I
Just in
get one
case.
for him?
with
You
a
think?
3, Lagolla, unfortunately for Letty, shows a perfect sort of etiquette towards thanking the queen and the servants who helped.
Why is that unfortunate for Letty?
Because you guys are in some sort of slemmy rivalry periodically.
I don't want him to fail in a way that would like negatively affect the party. Like
Negatively
there's a
affect
difference here.
ourselves.
No, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Could Letty
Leslie.
get a little mini like tuxedo for Gallicrow?
Yes, yeah. You can kind of lay out Gallicrow's limbs and head in the order that you believe him to be, and they'll kind of look at you strange and then look at each other and then kind of like create some sort of fabric to get around him.
Wouldn't it be funny if they made him like pseudo skin to wear so he looked like real?
Oh no.
That would be funny.
Would it be?
We'll let Aaron
There's a
decide
word.
on what he's wearing.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a word for it.
So
It fits this universe.
So
Yeah.
Letty, one thing I'm confused on, some of them called her a queen, some of them called her an empress. I'm a little confused about their governmental structure. Are they what's going on here?
That's a great question. Like, truthfully, though, the idea of, an imperial state in a monarch state smells kind of similar. Honestly, I just feel like we should tear it all down, You know, get some sort of shared governmental system
I'm
going on. Where
right
all of
here,
us are
dear.
just, meritocracy and such.
Hmm.
So
Hi, how's it going? Anyhow,
If
so like
we want-
meritocracy.
So, I mean, in Deerhollow, we normally just elect the mayor, and that's
Okay,
if
well,
being
this-
honest, we mostly just elect him just to kind of keep him busy, because otherwise he would
your
get pretty
system
lonely.
seems driven by an incessant amount of greed, however. So, I mean, I understand it's not necessarily like you've got like a trickle down sort of system. So,
Hold on, wait a minute. I literally work at a potion shop with my parents. We're labor that owns the means of production. We're quite literally the ideal.
Yes, wait a minute. Letty, are you lecturing the person that lives in Deerhollow and you've only been there for a day and a half?
I wasn't lecturing anyone. I was just sort of, saying that it's
Oh,
pretty
an outside
peculiar.
perspective.
I'm part of the
Look.
union. I have a card.
We're experiencing the
saying.
world, and we're
It's
considering
been a
the world as we
year.
experience it.
It's been a year, and the villagers of Deerhollow are more concerned with perpetuating their economic, growth than they are with, I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out there, stopping the end of the world. And they needed an outsider.
You
or a
need
group of
money to stop
outsiders
the
to
end of
come
the
in.
world.
Just
In
saying.
week 51. We came in week 51 of 52.
Okay.
I mean, I'm also
Mine.
here. And my
Now
sister.
you are.
My
They
sister,
did give you free room and board and have been feeding you for free.
Also,
You
my
act like that
sister
is a
did
fair
die for
trade.
that. Well, actually, she didn't. But I guess I haven't told you all about that yet. Should I have told you all about that yet?
Told us what? So, if we want to get there quickly, side note, it turns out all of the birds that fly the fastest are all falcons, which will most likely eat us in our current state. So it's going to be a moderate speed. We may have to walk some of the way, depending on how God feels about this whole endeavor.
You found a bird book.
No, that's just a random. It's a burnout society.
The
That's
green
a
screen
different book.
effect is
Yeah.
definitely eating your book. All right. So as the queen kind of like huffs a little bit at Letty and shuffles you out, I am a queen. The children this is their first job. They're working on it. And she kind of like pushes you guys out of the throne. Have a good rest of your trip now, dear. Oh no, the door is closing on its own. Here we
Wait a
go.
minute. No,
This
wait.
is-
I had more questions about the monarchy. Oh.
They have self-closing doors.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting. There doesn't really seem to be a line of succession for her, So, like, is she eternal? Or does, when she passes, is there just going to be some strange power vacuum where all the pixies are just going to fight over the throne,
Well,
She
I
could be like a phoenix, reborn
As you
from her own
walk
that would
ashes.
be
towards
cool.
Berry Brook.
Of
I
course,
think we should
we're
stop
talking
here and talk about this and settle it first.
I mean, I haven't
have to
seen a
say-
graveyard in town, so I guess maybe.
Letty
have
is
to say-
drawing the line, and we won't cross it until we have the details ironed out.
Oh,
I'm just glad to be
We're gonna
back
get a
in
chance to come
comfortable
here again
clothes.
and ask
Berry
these
Brook
questions.
towards the Misty Vale.
Comfortable
Misty
clothes. Feels
Are we in
good to be
Dragon
back in comfortable clothes.
We all have very different priorities, it seems.
So as you guys are somewhat forced through the town of Berry Brook, back towards the Misty Vale, you do have it then in front of you as you sort of feel that wet moisture. You've realized it's starting to taste sugary as you go through it. Maybe you breathe a little bit of it in as you go, or have your mouth open for a moment here or there. And it's almost starting to feel like sugar water as you walk through, and it kind of sticks to you a little bit, which is really kind of unusual for Letty with her taffy skin. That probably makes her extra sticky. Same with Adelaide, actually. Cupcake, I don't think is too different, so you'll be okay. But yeah, you guys managed to get to the other side and step out, and you realize, just because you've been living in this miniature world where everything was correctly sized for you, you see sort of the normal world in front of you again, and just how big these trees are as they loom in front of you. And you hear the caw, and looking up, Lady Lagolla, you see that white raven that had picked you up before seems to be circling overhead a little bit, definitely tracking somebody or all of you. And you look forwards and just the density of darkness in front of you as the forest is impenetrable in a way that even you as small people find.
Okay, so, well, even if I find a bird, I cannot fall from another height like I did before. It will kill me. So, Lagolla will start doing various bird calls of birds that she thinks would inhabit this type of forest, and she'll try to stick away from carnivorous birds like owls and falcons and what such.
Sure. Give me I would say probably a wits for this one. And I'll take advantage because you can speak to animals and you know animals.
I am just going to point out that if this goes poorly and we return back to normal size on these birds, that's going to be a bad situation for everybody.
Oh no, we'll just we'll feel it coming and we'll know to land quickly. I rolled a 5 and an 11.
5 and 11. Okay, so with the 5, as you're kind of making these sounds, you hear, let me just take a look here. You hear, oh, that's a good one. You hear sort of a thunk, 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 thunk. And then it stops as you're making bird calls. And you stop making the calls, and then thunk, thunk, thunk. And you make more calls. And then eventually you realize a sort of a bird with a bit of a red head pulls its beak out of a tree stump, one of the trees that is yet to become chocolate, and kind of like blinks towards you. I am going to need... No, I'm going to give this... Yeah, give me a D6 roll. No, we are going to need a D6 roll.
Okay, low or high, good.
Low bad.
I rolled a 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
As the bird sort of blinks at you, what you thought wasn't a chocolate tree was actually a chocolate tree, as this is a woodpecker. You are correct. Unfortunately, you see in its eyes sort of the crazed, candied nature of so many of these creatures of the forest that you're trying to call to you. And it sort of picks up its wings and it's going to swoop down towards you. I need you all to do a wits roll, as this thing is going to try to dive bomb you in a second here.
Oh god, it's not a woodpecker,
dear.
it's an us-pecker.
Yeah.
Dear. This might hurt.
All right. Let's see here.
Got it.
Fail.
Melissa failed. Is after the creature. Isabelle, what did you get?
10 under 12.
All right. Jeff?
11 under 15.
Nice. And Derek, did you...
8 under 10. I finally made it.
That is one that you don't often make. All right, as you guys kind of see this woodpecker, and you realize it is made with, what are we going to do this time? You kind of see it, what you thought was a red head actually is some sort of bane paste, and it looks like it's maybe covered in a very thin layer of mochi, and you can see sort of almost like its skin has become a thin layer of mochi. You can see its innards pulsing, and it looks like it's also got a thin layer of some sort of sweet bean paste, and you can see sort of the pulsing of berries, strawberries, cherries, etc. underneath, pressing out periodically through this near translucent flesh that the bird is still able to fly on as it comes down towards you. Is Roxy and Letty and Lady Lagolla, you guys get to go before. What do you think you'll do?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, this thing is clearly coming to kill us, right? Like, this thing wants to eat us. I think Roxy, who actually, like, feels pretty like good about how things are going overall. Like, yesterday things were bad and today things are still bad, but at least my sister's alive, so there's some hope. And will take out her sword. Well, I don't want to get eaten to death by a bird, so let's kill this thing and leave, please. And we'll rush at the bird with a sword.
Okay. It is in the air above you right now. So you rush below it and you get ready to be able to attack it. I'll just call this a held action until it gets close enough to for you to stab. And then we'll probably call it there. Letty or Lagolla, do you guys have a...
I'll just try and shoot it out of the sky with my bow.
Fair enough. Give me a roll. Are you using the bee sting bow or just a regular one?
I don't think I have that. I just have my hunting bow.
The bee sting.
Oh, okay.
Do I get advantage though, since I'm fighting an animal that I whistled, or I guess?
No.
As the animal expert? All right.
As the animal expert?
Let's see then. I failed. I got 15 over 13.
Okay. So Lagolla not really being prepared for this woodpecker having already been turned. Your shot goes wide from shock. Letty, are you also going to pull out your bow, or are you going to wait for that attack to get in?
No, I'm not going to do that. I am going to try to blind the thing with some dirt. So I'm going to scoop up some earth, some soil, some dirt, some mud, whatever there is. Mm-hmm. And as it swoops down, I basically want to just sort of rain earth atop of it, so it kind of gets in his eyes and his face and just sort of makes it difficult to see.
Sure, yeah. All right, so let's say as you guys prepare these two things, this woodpecker does start to dive, and Roxy, you get the opportunity as it gets close enough to hit. Give me that, I believe that would be a resolve roll for your sword. Ooh.
Oh gosh, that's one away. Well,
does anybody have a heart die in the early morning?
I do. I can Adelaide do it.
I have 3, so I can.
Whoa, look at you.
What does it look like that you're able to correct the sword swing?
So I would say that Adelaide is in the process of fumbling around trying to get out her frying pan shield and her hatchet. And so I'm going to say, like, in the process, like, that's why she's like behind in the initiative. And so in the process of trying to pull this stuff out, she accidentally like kind of corrects the swing on Isabelle, on Roxy a little bit, so that helps her with her aim.
Okay. I love that we haven't quite yet gotten a competent teamwork. We're just fumbling around to the best of our ability and happening to get lucky.
So you only they only needed a 1, so you got a 2, Roxy. I believe that allows you to hit.
Hooray!
I give you the damage.
That will be, and it's a 1 damage. Let's go! All right,
let's carry over that extra 1 from the heart die.
Okay, so as Roxy kind of swings up into this bird, chopping through some of the soft mochi exterior, you get sprayed down with sort of a sweet bean paste, and maybe a raspberry plops out of the opening at you.
Ew.
Yeah. But you do manage to hit it 1 time. Letty, do you want to, this is a gift die, or are you just kind of
I figured I can just use, I'll use my gift die so I don't have to roll a check because I suck at checks. Okay, so I'm just going to commit 1.
Are you going to do 1 or 1 die? Okay.
It's how much bigger than us is it? Like, is it
so you guys are
enormous?
canonically about 3 centimeters big, and this is a woodpecker. I believe those guys are usually yay big, about a foot long, I would say, versus 3 centimeters. So like an inch and a half versus a foot.
Okay. So one question I have with special abilities, my level 2 one has some, so you total the dice that you commit to it. But my level 1 one, which is what I think this is, because I'm not like attacking it as much as I'm just trying to blind it. it's dice times 5 cubic feet. So is it just a committing of dice, or is it? Is there benefit to committing more than one?
So dice would be like 1 dice times cubic feet or 2 dice times cubic feet. I'm just scrolling to your ability.
Because dice is number of dice and sum is the result of the roll. So dice is number of dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to. I don't think I need. Screw it. I'm just going to put them both in. Whatever. Okay, here we go. I'm going to commit 2. So it's 10 cubic feet.
Okay.
Okay. A 1 and a 4. So
okay, no mishaps. You get 1 dice back. So that's 2. So that's 10 cubic feet and form into a specific shape. What shape are you forming in? Just like a cloud, I guess it sounded like?
Yeah, I just want a big honking cloud going right at its stupid face.
Very good. Okay, let's say this is definitely going to give it a disadvantage to attack, but I'm going to say, like, you with 2 dice of power, you definitely managed to kick some small rocks up in here. So let's give you like also a d6 of damage on this thing.
Are you okay? You feeling all right? That was really nice. Super nice of you. Kisser. That's a 3 on 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, so
thank you.
3.
It has 100 health though because of that comment.
Yeah. That's one of those things, right? Yeah.
She watched that pitiful. Everyone watched that pitiful hit by Roxy and was just like, we'll help you out a little bit.
All right, so that leaves us with the woodpecker, who is now going to try to peck at one of you. I'm just going to randomly roll 1, 2, 3, 4. That is Derek. Lagolla, you have called this bird to you. It is going to dive bomb you with the disadvantage, which I need to roll a second one. There we are. Well, with a 15, it is well over its save, as the dust in its eyes make it rear up a little bit, and it completely swipes past you without hitting you at all. That means, Melissa, you have the opportunity here to try to hit it, as it is within range, as it's getting ready to fly off again.
All right. So I've got my hatchet out. So frying pan in one hand, hatchet in the other. And I'm going to try to swing at this thing. Like, no, you, go. No, not you. 5 under 11.
Very good. You do hit it.
And that's a d6 on the hatchet, and that is a 3.
All right. With that, although right now your weapons are tiny and doing roughly half damage, let's call it, with Melissa's final hit with this hatchet, just maybe hitting it perfectly up into the exposed throat as it rears back from the dust. You manage to cut through the mochi, through the sweet bean paste, and maybe thunk into some sort of strawberry. And as you pull out, you get a gush of sort of this red juice coming down before the bird just kind of like caws and coughs and sort of moves away from you guys before it starts to fall down on the ground and remains still. As this is happening, sorry.
Oh dear. I'm sorry. And then she looks down at the spray of like fruit that she's got.
Fruit juice.
So glad we changed, and that's not a very pretty good job, everyone.
It's a good call.
We did it. We can't
The
fly on that
dirt
one.
is literally swirling around and finally coming to
Yeah, it's a good thing. Okay, down, boys, down.
and then with the earth.
All right. And it takes you a little bit, but then you realize you're hearing this sort of from the trees above you.
What is that? Can we look up to see?
Did the trees laugh before we were this size, or is this something only small ears can hear?
So as you guys debate this and look up, you realize that white raven has landed and is laughing at you on one of the trees above.
Oh, we're looking for a ride. If you could help us, please.
I don't think.
Why would I help you and everybody? can hear and understand this bird.
And Lagolla doesn't realize that yet. Well, we could offer some food to you, but also it's just to help everyone out. So it's kind of like a random act of kindness. Pay it forward.
Lagolla.
Not
sorry
interested.
Sorry to interrupt. It seems like you're making progress. Are we supposed to be able to hear the birds when you do this?
Well, that's never happened before. You can understand the bird?
Yeah.
We can.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, I can.
Oh. Well, hold on. So I'll get back to that. You said you don't want to help?
Not interested. This was funny. You, sort of interesting more than the others, but I am here to observe you, and most of the time you're boring, so not interested.
I think Roxy starts to put two and two together. Are you that witch?
No.
Oh, damn. I really thought I was cooking there.
Well, if you
I
are
am
bored,
a raven. Thank you.
if you are
Well, I mean, ravens can be
bored-
witches.
Sure, I'm...
These days, anyone can be anything they want to be, so it's worth
Yeah.
asking.
We live in a progressive society.
Well, right now, I'd like not to be ordered to follow you around, but that's not an option, so...
Who did that? Who ordered you?
Who do you think? One guess.
I don't want to say witch again because I'm going to feel like an idiot if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like that's the answer.
The Dulcina lady, the witch lady.
Yes. Dulcinea was interested in what you guys are doing, so here I am. I thought I could
Cool.
pick one of you up while you're tiny and drop it off so she can do some fun things with it, but...
Do you got
Tell-
a name?
Ghost.
Oh, hi, Ghost. My name's Letty. This is
Hello,
Roxy,
Letty.
Adelaide, Lagolla. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you, Ghost.
Should we be waving at the emissary of maybe our biggest enemy?
Well, yes, we have manners.
Yeah, fair enough.
When we've never met someone before, it just means that they're a possible friend.
That is what Gallicrow says.
It's true.
Are you a possible friend? I don't think they're a possible friend. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, not with
Well-
that kind of attitude.
Ghost, if you like
Sometimes
to
you
be
just gotta work a little harder.
entertained, if you help us get down to Everlost Lake, we could do more funny things to entertain you and make you laugh, and it kind of would be like having a break while you're on your job.
No, I want things.
No,
Okay.
what kinds
What?
of things do you want? We all want things.
What's your most important thing you have?
My left toenail.
I
That's
doubt
really
that-
specific. What?
Note that.
So I
Wi-Fi.
have this sewing kit that was a gift from my mom. That was a gift from her mom. And I always keep it on me. And it's my most prized possession.
So is Adelaide being genuine?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say you can do a persuasion. We'll call it a wits with advantage.
Are we
Okay.
Are we sure?
Forgot to grab.
Are we sure
my
we
other-
should be giving, I don't know a lot about witchcraft. Most of what I do is chemicals and stuff like that, benzo stuff that Lady Lagolla was talking about earlier. But isn't it usually bad to let witches have important items to us? Just spitballing.
I'm just gonna say, she's doing a pretty good job of just wrecking and cursing this
Yeah.
land. So
She can't
you know,
make it much worse. It might speed
sometimes
the
you just
time up a
gotta-
little bit.
right, you
So-
just leap of faith it, you know?
Melissa, what did you roll?
Not good.
Oh, no.
Advantage? Oh,
if
no.
anybody, even with advantage, I rolled a 14 and an 18, and I need to roll under 12. So
So
if anyone would like
Somebody
to,
got a heart
I
die?
could
Under 12
Yeah, I
or
could-
12?
12. 12 is the target number, and I rolled a 14.
2 or
50-50.
greater when we get
Yes.
there.
You got this. You got it, Lagolla.
Yeah, I'll do a heart dice.
Okay.
A 2 or greater gets you there, right? Because is it meets it, beats it, or does it have to be under?
Meets it, beats it.
Okay.
I got exactly 2.
Oh.
I thought that was a good or a bad, but I wasn't sure. All right, so
But that was me calling for an owl.
I see. So what does helping Adelaide in this instant look like?
I would
from
almost
Lagolla's
say that,
perspective?
and I'll throw something out there, and Derek, you can correct it. But like maybe the way Adelaide was describing it, it didn't sound genuine. Like it sounded like she wasn't being genuine, and Lagolla needed to like school her on like how to like. No, you kind of sound like you're being sarcastic, but he doesn't know you as well as I do.
When you talk to birds, never look them in the eye because they'll think that you're trying to eat them. Yeah, she gives just pointers, general animal pointers, and also sound more genuine.
So Ghost kind of cocks her head, and then she hops and spreads her wings, and you realize ravens are fucking big birds. And her shadow just kind of consumes the party before she dives down and lands right in front of Adelaide. I'll take it.
You know, you're quite beautiful.
Yes, thank you. I'll take it.
Adelaide, ravens are incredibly intelligent.
I'll take it. Yes.
Hold on. I've like wrapped it twice at the very bottom of my bag so that I wouldn't lose it. So hold on. It's just gonna take me a second.
In exchange for, don't just give it over freely. We got to negotiate here, you know, goods for services.
We're from Deerhollow.
Right?
We're bartering.
I heard that's what they
like
do in
you.
Deerhollow.
I do like you. I'll take it.
What? So you're very smart, and you know that other smart beings would make sure that if they were giving something up that's been in their family for so many generations, that it wouldn't just be given
boring.
So what would we get?
Starting to bore me. Obviously, I will take you to the ball.
Oh, thank you.
I
That's
know
very
what
nice
you
of you.
did when you tried to call the woodpecker, but the woodpecker let the curse get to its brain.
And so Adelaide just is sort of holding it, looking to her friends like, and she hands over and sort of does the thing where you're handing over a prized possession and you're not really letting it go right away.
So the bird's beak shoots out and grabs it, and like it's gone from your hands in an instant, as it is much larger and stronger than you right now, and it cocks its head back, and you see it sort of looks like it's swallowing it, and you do not see your sewing kit anymore. Okay, let's go. And it kind of like shuffles its feet a little bit and extends a wing in front of Adelaide. Up we go.
Well, this will be a quick trip or a quicker trip.
Okay. And Adelaide looks very sad as she's given away her most prized possession, and she like crawls up on the bird and kind of holds the hand out for whoever else comes after to help them up.
Dulcinea has been so dull since she died. Hurry up, princesses.
I think we all clamber on.
Can I make some kind of like, obviously this thing is like fucking with us, but is it genuinely bored, or is this thing trying to trick us?
Oh, so you want like an insight? Yeah, you can give me a wits with disadvantage.
Wits with disadvantage. Oh boy. Well, here we go.
This is not the body language you are used to.
Oh, nope. That's not even close.
All right. So unfortunately with a 17, that is not quite good enough. You are uncertain as to what the motivation of this bird is, or if it is being genuine. It has genuinely allowed all four of you to climb onto its back, and you can feel that it is made out of pure white chocolate. And you remember that the Dark Knight was a construct by Dulcinea was very similar in that it seems to have its full facilities as you feel sort of the chocolate muscles sort of contract and extend as it lifts its wings, and you suddenly find yourselves well above the tree line looking down. It very scary considering how far a fall it would be for almost everyone. Lagolla, you do, to be fair, have the butterfly hair clip and would be the only survivor. As the bird takes off and you feel sort of almost like your fingers are starting to freeze from the cool air of the high altitude, as you watch the trees kind of go one after the other below you, and then you see Deerhollow come and go below you, and you feel like you're up there for a long time. And then you kind of start to see the river appear again in the distance as you get closer and closer. And then you see the lake, and it is massive from this high up even, before you start to feel like your frozen hands start to slide a little bit off of the feathers as the ghost, the raven, starts to do a dive down towards the lake's edge. Everybody you can choose your resolve or your grace as you hold on to these.
I was going to say those feathers are getting a little
Can they get advantage with my knowledge of animals? I was trying to see. Really, just because I have my innate ability of animal whisperer and knowing animals.
Knowing animals, this is technically a construct and not a real animal.
Built off of the anatomy of an animal.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if that's the case, chocolate is a chemical and I have alchemy, so could I get advantage?
No. No.
Jeez. I rolled a 9 under 11.
9 under 11, perfect. And I see Roxy rolled a 9 as well. I
under
believe
14,
is under 14. Good. Letty, Lagolla?
I rolled a 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
I rolled a 16.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I knew there was a reason why these arguments were coming out. So, as most of you start to like hunch in closer to Ghost as it starts to dive, hoping to reduce the wind resistance. Unfortunately, Lagolla, were you doing Grace or were you doing Resolve?
I was doing Grace because my Resolve is 10. Yeah. So apparently she's just doing the like Titanic, I'm free, Jack.
Lagolla, confident in her knowledge of animals, overconfident, some might even say, sort of like, I don't need to lean in that close, I'm fine, before a very strong gust just sweeps up under her torso and lifts her up. Lagolla, you are free falling, but you see Ghost kind of like pivots and you see an eye before she, unless you're going to do something. Nope. Before she rotates and everybody who's like sort of hunched in together can feel the shift again as she rotates around Lagolla before her claws come out and just grab Lagolla on either side. Lagolla, you are going to take a d4 of piercing damage, 2 as the claws grip you, but you stop falling.
Reduced to 1 because of my armor.
Very good. This is why we like armor. However, Lagolla, you get a very close view of the ground as Ghost starts to plummet down towards it. And this is a bit reminiscent for you. She has to let you go before she can land herself. And you face down into a mud puddle before she elegantly and gracefully lands just on the other side. Clearly, she could have missed it if she wanted. And one of her wings sort of lifts up and spreads out and lowers down like a ramp for the rest of your party. You guys start to feel the tingle of the potion, and you believe it is nearly noon and it is about to wear off.
No,
Right,
I'm
well-
feeling a little weird inside, and I had almost forgotten how much it hurt real bad when we got small, and I think this might hurt real bad on the other direction. Thank you, Ghost. Take good care of that sewing kit. I hope you do lots of pretty things with it.
It will go into my collection, and I will enjoy it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Natalie
It's
looks flummoxed.
And Ghost sort of beats its wings before lifting up and going kind of disappearing into the trees, and you aren't able to keep eyes on it. As you guys kind of stand around this lake, not really knowing where to go, I believe, Letty, you actually had the ticket that Ashkan gave in your inventory.
Makes sense. Sure.
Well, somebody, I hope somebody took it, but I do know you guys have it. So,
Yeah, I'll take it. Sure.
it's sort of, you can feel it sort of almost warming up in your pocket, but before that, you feel sort of a surge of pain as suddenly your skull gets too big for the skin on your head. And your eyes start to like fall into the socket, so you remember them coming in at a different speed. You don't all have to shake your head at me.
We are
like,
responding to what you were giving us.
Yeah.
That-
very
perfectly
appropriately.
normal. All right, that's right. As the as your skull is suddenly stretched over this thin skin of your face, and you kind of feel it in reverse. It's almost like your lungs and your guts start to expand, and your belly starts to extrude a little bit, and your ribs, you can feel them creaking from the force of your own innards. Before the bones themselves start to catch up, and you can breathe again for a moment, feeling sort of light and panting, and black spots appearing in your vision. And then your eyes get too large again, and they start to pulse out the wrong way. And eventually you probably do pass out from the pain, because this does feel worse getting larger than it does getting smaller. But eventually this passes, and you guys find yourselves panting on the ground, fully sized up again. Looking into your backpacks, you do have the correctly sized dresses for the occasion.
Oh, I didn't think that could hurt worse than when I took that. Oh, ow.
It was so much worse. And Adelaide's like crying, like leaning up against a tree. It's like, that's really hurt. And I don't think Ghost is actually gonna sew anything with the sewing kit. And I probably shouldn't have just given it over. And I really hope that this is successful and we save everyone.
Well, we'll get it back. I mean, I got a bit of score to settle with that witch, so we'll get it back for sure.
Oh, hopefully. Although and Adelaide thinks a thought that she decides not to say out loud. That if we don't succeed, it won't matter anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey,
True.
I know this is all scary and stuff, but I mean, shoot, people have been doing this stuff for ages. I've read all kinds of stories about, monsters and curses and all sorts of stuff, and this is just one of those, right? And we're doing okay so far. We killed that rat king.
We did. We got one of the things, and we're going to go get the second of the things. So we will do this. Thank you, Roxy.
Yeah. And then I'm going to eat that bird.
Just
Rude.
take
It
the
was
sewing
very nice
kit
to
out
you.
of its tummy first. Lagolla, do you have mud all over your face?
She's still lying face down.
Oh,
You
God.
said that everyone passed out from the pain. Lagolla never got up.
Hi, Lagolla?
Wait a minute, did she drown in
I
the
think
mud?
she's dead. I think. Oh, well.
She picks her face up. I
you've got a mud
enjoy
bath.
flying, but I don't enjoy gravity.
Yeah, it seems like you've maybe struggled with that a bit. If you want, when I get back to my shop, I can lend you some books about physics and what. Oh, wait, right, not the time. Sorry.
So as you
Buddy,
guys kind of discuss,
If you can do stuff with dirt, does that mean that you can like get Lagoya's face all clean and ready for the ball?
Well, there's a lake. We
absolutely could do that. Yes.
and I would give that to you for free if you wanted to do that. Up to you.
I'm having a spa day.
To clean up Lagolla and anybody else who needs to be cleaned up, and like carefully removing the dirt and sitting it there like, there you go. Have fun, little guy. Have fun. Go play with your friends.
Every little bit of earth. She says that too.
It takes a little while then.
Yeah.
Adelaide, here, you can have this. And she'll hand over a foldable paper fan. And she'll say, first you gave up your brass bell for a skillet that didn't really work for you. And then you just gave your sewing kit to a bird that you didn't really like. This I don't know too much about, other than it's the only thing I have left from my mother. And I know that we're not blood related, but I hope that this makes you smile or keeps you, maybe it even goes with your dress tonight at the ball. You could use it to hide your face from a potential suitor.
Well, thank you, Lagolla. That's really very kind of you. And I like the idea of being able to, and she'll just like take the fan and just like put it in front of her face. Like, I like that idea. If I don't know what to say to someone, I can just, and she just like puts the fan in front of her face and then just like wiggles it and just like walks backwards behind a tree. Yes.
I love it.
This'll
Yes. I
be
never thought of
great.
using it for that. It's been in my bag ever since. I hope that it helps.
Thank you. It's very nice of you.
One last thing before we go in, and this might be a minor detail, but if that bird had really been watching us the whole time, it would have known that you had that magic butterfly flying clip thing, right?
Well, yes, it's very possible. I don't know if it's just bored. I wonder if Ghost has just been around a long time, or I don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, it would have let you fall, or at least use it if it known about it, right? I'm just thinking maybe it's over, like, bragging. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just a thought. Something about it seems off.
I like Ghost.
You like the bird that ate our friends?
I don't remember him eating anybody.
No, not ate our friends. Ate the sewing kit. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. That's on me.
Well, I do know that ravens like to collect things, so in some ways, Adelaide, it's not going to waste. They really do appreciate shiny trinkets. I imagine Ghost takes us to another level since they can talk to you guys.
Well, and Ghost did say something about Dulcinea being dead.
Well,
right?
Not exactly. It said she said that she was boring lately, right? So
I imagine dead people are pretty boring.
oh, that's I don't know. Something weird's
Maybe
going on.
Died and came back.
Well,
so as you guys are having this discussion, in front of you, the lake glitters with water so clear that you ought to be able to see down to the bottom, but all you see is this crystalline blue. And you also realize you do not see any sort of what you are now used to, gelatin kind of floating in the water. It is water. Or at least it looks like it's water.
Does it look carbonated?
No.
So, Letty, do you think
what's up?
Do you think this is where we say trash can a few times?
What
Do you
time of
think
day
we're
is it?
close enough?
It's probably around maybe 12:30, a little afternoon.
So midday. So the ticket says Eternal Ball, dawn the garden, midday is the feasting room, and twilight is in the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's is that after we get inside, or is that like, yeah, okay. Just want to make sure.
Yes.
All right.
I'll give that for you for free.
You want to call trash can and be like, "Hi, what now?" Something like that.
I don't know. Do we get changed here? Do we get changed when we get closer? Like,
Presumably they'll have like a bathroom or something, right? Do the Fae use the bathroom? Oh boy, I should be really writing this stuff down.
I don't know. Dawn, the garden. So midday.
So far, Ashcan, when he was talking about the ball, merely suggested the lake itself was the entry point. And you can tell that it is different just based on the fact that it hasn't reacted to the confectionery curse.
I was going to say, if
yeah.
I dip my arm in it, does it freeze?
Yeah.
As Letty and Lagolla both kind of dip either their fingers or their arms in, their skin tingles, and you could tell there's sort of some magic that's reacting specifically to the fact that you have a ticket in your pocket. And you think without that, this would be normal water.
Okay, well, should we? Do we just
kind of
go in?
over the tingling feeling, if I'm being honest?
You're talking about? I like tingly. It's nice.
Well,
it's
after
fun.
the potion, it's not enjoyable.
Well, imagine being taffy, okay? Imagine that, okay? Tingling.
I can't imagine that. I haven't taken damage like you.
Okay, well, you wait. Next time you sleep, I'm going to spit in your mouth, and then you're going to get it from me. That's how it works.
That technically would work, yes.
That is the most spiteful thing I've ever heard you say.
I didn't realize it was one of those kind of balls.
You don't listen to me enough. I'm very spiteful.
So if it's like that for you, Letty, does that mean we need our tickets now? So
Maybe
we do have
you
to
all.
call them?
Well, like, why don't you just like hang on? Well, maybe hang on to my like my train, and then like let's see what happens. And if you like bounce back, well, it's just a solo mission, and just the game master and I can hang out the next couple of weeks, and y'all can take it off.
Yeah.
So are you changing into your dress clothes?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, yeah, like, I don't know. If you want to call a trash can, we can call a trash can, but I'm very hesitant just because I know it's a one-time only thing, and I know it was mostly about knowledge, and like, we just saw the lake went weird. So like, when Lagolla put her hand in, did she get like the same feeling I was getting? Yeah, so I'm like, let's just go. Let's like...
Fuck it. Roxy grabs the ticket out of his hand and jumps in the lake.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
That happened once in the city under the lake. And he never
not
came back.
consented.
If you would like to do that, that would be a grace check versus Letty's grace.
Oh dear. What are we doing?
A die off, and then it's a matter.
Friends.
If you don't want to do PvP, we can block this.
No,
but,
if you don't know, if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine.
I remember.
But you guys might all be
had
jumping in very quickly in a second here as the ticket goes in.
Oh
the
yeah,
water.
that's fine. Oh yeah, that's fine. We're at the ready.
Yep. Okay. So Roxy grabs the ticket out of Letty's hand and impulsively jumps into the Everlost Lake. The rest of the party quickly jumping in afterwards, it sounds like.
Yes. I had a dream where I did this as a man once and I fell to my death. There's a city under a lake, and something about the cloud wind breaks over the waves.
I don't think I've seen that episode of whatever
It's
you
fine.
were in.
It's okay.
It sounds like you, Derek, might just be gravity challenged.
I mean, you've literally failed everything that's been in the sky. So maybe you're almost beating Melissa. So as you guys all jump into this lake, your skin tingles with magic and you find yourselves, instead of falling, stepping out of this portal that you realize the lake must be into an intricately decorated mirror. Behind you appears an intricately decorated mirror. You're in a grand foyer filled with fae dressed in the most elaborate, sumptuous fashions you've ever seen. They form a line that leads to a set of open double doors manned by a lone fae. Through the doors, though the doors are open beyond it, you can only see a colorful haze of sort of mist and sheen. So you're at the back of the line. The fae near the end do kind of side-eye you, and you realize you aren't quite dressed in your ball gowns yet, but you do have time because the line stretches out in front of you. At the very front of the line, you see this very pale, lean fae. He's got sort of the sides of his head shaved and then sort of this messy but stylized updo that almost looks like a bit of a mullet, and he's got a little mustache, and he's wearing sort of all black with a perfectly buttoned shirt, and then sort of beautifully on his shoulders embroidered stars that look like they're almost falling down to the ground. And it's almost like there's magic that's coming out of this fabric because they'll actually change form, and they literally do look like they're sparking on the ground. And in front of him is a beautifully dressed woman who has these beautiful curls wound up in her hair. She's got these fierce sort of almost green and red eyes as she stares him down. And he goes, "We wish you well. You're not getting in." And she goes, "I'm paid to be here. You can't tell me what to do. All these losers who aren't even here for a job, you can't make me go to the back of the line." And then the bouncer goes, "Yeah, the last time you were fucked well was by genetics. We wish you well." And then the girl goes, "Oh!" And she'll kind of like turn around and stomp out, and you kind of see like a flurry of tiny little magical cameras are following her around and filming everything.
Oh my god.
Letty, don't get any ideas from this place.
What?
Psst, Letty, get many ideas from this place.
I'm not talking to you. You don't steal from friends. You stole from a friend. You and I aren't friends anymore.
It's really
Then she starts
impressive that
changing.
she did it because you have sticky fingers. And I mean, literally, not like you're a thief.
Were we friends
And
to
that-
begin
plus,
with? You've mostly
we were
yelled
the
at
ones
me.
who earned the ticket. She wasn't even there, and then she stole it from us, and she didn't even earn it. We risked
Can we
our
all-
lives against those mushroom thingies.
Can we all get in with that ticket, or do we have to call the what's their face so that we all get tickets?
I don't know. I'm gonna change.
Letty's gonna start
As you
putting-
guys are debating and changing, the line moves up and you're forced to like stop changing, step up a little bit and continue quickly.
And Adelaide pulls out the canvas sack that she has and like holds it in front of people so like everybody can like change and
Oh, like when you're at the beach and you have
Yeah.
privacy.
Oh,
The privacy shield. It takes a while, especially if you aren't going to challenge the line. It does take probably another hour before you get to the front of this line. And you're ready, and you've got like your full gowns or suits, and your makeup is now impeccable because you've had time to do it. And you get up to this lean gentleman, and he's slight. And he's lean, and it feels like you're stepping into an intense sort of aura of, let's take a look at you. Names?
Oh yeah.
Roxy Clearwater of Deerhollow. Nice to meet you.
Name?
Adelaide of Gentle Falls.
Names?
Lady Lagolla Lathington.
And?
Me. Oh, I'm Letty of JP. Hey, how you doing? What's up? How's it going?
None of you are on the list.
Oh. Wait, what's your name?
I'm Elvar, and this is my job, and I do it very well.
You're very
If
good.
you are not here on the list, I wish you well.
Oh,
And it's time for you to move off.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think we're supposed to be guests of Trash Can.
I don't have that name on the list either.
Lenny, you said that was their name.
Now you want, look at this. Oh, look here. She jumps in, doesn't pay attention. Oh, does whatever she wants. Now she wants our help. Hey, we got a ticket, though. What is the ticket? Like, it's supposed to admit one.
Show me the ticket.
Roxy.
We all turned to Roxy.
Wait a minute, hold on. And then, she pulls it. She, reaches under a hat, pulls it out, takes it, hands it.
Admit one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes, but we all know that 4 humans equal 1 Fae, so.
And technically, it doesn't say one person. It just says one. One group. And so we're a group that goes together.
We are
That's true.
a very unified group that gets along very well.
It's almost like we're a hive mind.
Puts on like a fake smile.
All right, one of you guys can roll me a wits with advantage with the support of the group kind of coming together for this.
Oh, a wits check. That's definitely Letty.
For sure.
Right? This organization.
Okay. All right. 9 and a 5. So yeah, both are good.
Humans. Well, you're interesting, and the Earl King likes interesting. Very well. If you fuck up this party, know that I know your faces, and I will fuck you up. Enter.
Nice. Okay.
What exactly does that mean? You're good at your job, so I am curious.
Enter now, or else.
See ya.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And as you guys enter this sort of ball for the very first time, you find yourselves, there we go. Sorry, let me just activate 4 players. I remember, there we go. You find yourselves entering through, if you look at the image, the bottom left is the gatehouse, and you come in through the, what appears to be dawn time, which it's not, because when you left it was a little afternoon and the sun was high in the sky, and you see this garden with beautiful just sunrise lighting all around it, and you see flowers, and there's fountains, and you see people or fae dressed elegantly to the nines in everything that you would ever see on Fashion Week, spread out in front of you, looking like the cosmos themselves.
So is with the magic or whatever is making this appear this way, is this like a pre-curse dawn sunrise, or does it have the same effects of like the air being thick with...
You find as you step through this gatehouse, the magic here, you breathe, and even in the Pixies' land, you couldn't breathe this well. You haven't felt like you could breathe in nearly a year. And this is definitely maybe another dimension or somewhere else, but you already know it's unaffected by the confectionery curse just from the air alone.
Oh my God, I forgot the last time I saw a sunrise like this.
Mm-hmm. And it is beautiful as you look towards the side, and that lighting just illuminates everything with beautiful orange and yellow and a near purple light. And that is where we're going to end it for this evening, as you have entered the Eternal Ball.
Another dimension. All right, guys, I say we just stay here and start a new life here.
Start a new life here.
So nice to breathe again. I think this will make my blooms a little bit stronger here.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray! We did it.
All right. So, welcome to the realm of the Earl King. You now have to find him, and apparently he does like challenges. So we will see how you will fare next week.
Well, if
I
he likes
challenge him
challenges,
to appear.
He's gonna love this group.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you were interesting enough that Elvar allowed you entry with 1 ticket. So, oh dear.
Sorry.
Derek dropped some stuff.
With my dice.
Garblag or
yeah, sure. Our friends at Garblag, Aaron, play some games over there. I think Thursday this week he's starting up an Otherscape game, if I recall correctly. So check out Thursday, and you can see Aaron playing in that. As for the rest of us, first thing I'm going to say is Huckleberry, our dear friend Steven, has been making a game. We just got a big old update last week. You should check it out, huckleberryrpg.com, or look for it at Drive-Thru RPG. It's a quick start, and then Backer Kit later this year. And then, speaking of Backer Kit, our other friend, Tracy Sizemore, who made Han Cluster, and we've been playing Han Cluster on Saturdays for the last month or so. That just hopped up on Backer Kit today. So if you haven't checked that out, go do that and see if you like it, because it was a lot of fun when we played it, and hopefully you'll have some fun with it too. Streaming wise, next game we got is Thursday, where you can see some of us here playing through some Swords of the Serpentine. And then Friday we should be back to Magnus Archives. Saturday, oh shit, are we back to Call of Cthulhu on Saturday? Whoops.
Oh, you got some planning to do.
I should probably prep that. So yeah, we're back to Eternal Lies on Saturday. So yeah, check that out. Monday, I don't know. And then Tuesday next week, Perils and More Princesses, right? Someone say something so I can find a raid. Because I usually get it there.
I'm going to kidnap the chocolate raven.
Oh, leave
That's personal
Ghost
quest.
alone.
I don't
Ghost
trust
never
that
do
bird.
I'm going to give them a
kidnapped
lovely
you
home
and
life.
dropped you from a great height, but you could have just gone with him.
Ghost could have not grabbed you with her her talons. She could have just let you fall.
Tentacle
I know,
raven.
right?
Tentacle bird.
Well, I think now we're at the Eternal Ball, and like Derek's got me thinking like we're at the freaking King
City
of
of the
Yellow,
Impossible
like
Landscape.
along the shore, the cloudways break, and I'm like, oh shit, we're in Holly. This is amazing. So yeah. Okay, keep talking. I haven't figured one out.
If there's a clown that shows up and is trying to get the Patsu or whatever it's called, I'm
Questkeep
leaving.
have raided us before.
It is Pascu.
They're at 3 hours in, so I'm just checking to see if they're finishing up though, because 3 hours seems like a long. So screw it, let's do it. We're gonna raid Questkeep. They are playing a tabletop role-playing game, and we will. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and raid them. So have a great rest of your night. See y'all later. Bye bye.
Game.
Bye.
Bye.